All right, guys, so today we're gonna be talking about a project that we have not looked at in quite a while. A lot of you guys know this coin was one of my top picks from the last bull market, and it did pretty well. So we get close to the end of the bear market and start heading back towards bull territory. We're gonna take a look at this coin as one you should accumulate. Let's get it. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the people's channel, home of the BitSquad, largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto. And today we are going to be talking about Vechain. As you guys know, this is a coin we were very bullish on last cycle, so let's take a look on what we think about today. So we know Vechain as the supply chain crypto project, but it's actually a lot more than that. There's a lot more reasons for investors to begin taking notice into this coin. Now, of course, I'm not a financial advisor, so just take all the information you learn in this video and use it for your own research. So in a world where green energy is everywhere and consumption is the buzzword of the day, Vechain is actually among the lowest energy consumption blockchains out there. And the company itself, well, it's worth about $500 million. Now, it's down right now about 40% due to the fact the market has been absolutely crushed. But the market's been crushed more than 40%, and Vechain's still holding pretty tough. And they just released a new roadmap. It includes sustainable infrastructure, tech features, new apps, and a partnership with UFC. And in case you hadn't heard, well, Vechain, they got NFTs too. So the new roadmap is for the rest of this year, and it goes into 2024, which is when we should see the beginning of a new bull run. And one of the highlights of this roadmap is sustainable infrastructure. What does that mean? Well, that's basically a new way for people to say it's very energy efficient. It's very green friendly. And that's big in today's narrative of climate change. Now, if you want to get some Vechain, you can always do that at Binance. We've got a link down below for you guys, and you can just click right up here. It'll take you straight to Binance, or you can get yourself a big bag of VET. So a lot of people know that Vechain involves supply chain tracking. Well, one of the big things that they track, well, it's food, from farm to table, as you might say. But how can that process become greener? Well, Vechain has introduced V-Carbon. They want to actually decarbonize the food sector. Pretty cool. And a lot of people know Vechain is based in China. Now, they are starting to spread out around the world to other places and offices, but V-Carbon is actually going to contribute to China's carbon neutrality strategy. And also, Vechain just became a technology partner with none other than Amazon Web Services. So the plan is for V-Carbon to manage governments, corporations, and other entities, all of their carbon data. This is going to be a lot of data, which is exactly why they had to partner with Amazon Web Services. So one way you can make money in crypto is to follow the narratives, and where those narratives can take you are some interesting places. Well, one of the big narratives in the world is, of course, green energy and being carbon neutral. So if you wanted to find a project that could possibly be looking to make waves in that narrative, well, V-Carbon and Vechain have got you covered. So one of the new features is called XP Network. What does this do? Well, it makes NFTs interoperable between Vechain and other chains. XP Network is a cross-chain NFT bridge. One of the popular hashtags on Twitter lately for Vechain has been hashtag Vechain has NFTs, because a lot of people don't even realize it has a blossoming NFT network. Now, one of the biggest projects on Vechain is called V-Kings. And right now, that seems to be the blue chip NFT of Vechain. And Vechain has been making big moves for a while now. Back in February, Vechain 2.0 was launched. This includes their blockchain data explorer, and it does deep dives into rich lists, addresses, transaction, and much more. And it's also community driven and community ran. Now let's talk about how the dApps work on Vechain. They use something called Connex. This is a standard interface that connects dApps with users on the Vechain network. This is a contract entity mapper for Ethereum, Vechain, and Tron, basically anything that uses Solidity as its programming language. So what can you guys expect for 2023? Well, the Vechain naming service is finally going to debut. You may know this on Ethereum as ENS, or Cardano that has handles. Instead of using complicated addresses with a combination of numbers and letters, uppercase, lowercase, this allows someone to use a name that's readable and someone can remember, kind of like an email address or a Twitter handle. Also in 2023, you can expect a community-run asset lending service, and expect oracles to come into play for the Vechain network. Now, 2024 is obviously a little bit further away, but since the roadmap goes there, this is what you can expect down the road when the new bull run should be hitting. Well, they're going to start decentralized file storage to allow for greater bandwidth. And as the network grows, well, they'll need layer 2 solutions just like Ethereum has. They're planning on launching rollups in 2024. And while it's a little bit controversial, Vechain has got a plan for their own algorithmic stablecoin, so make sure to watch out for that. And also, you expect DAO governance and operating systems coming into play. So right now, the supply of Vechain is just at $72 billion, and the price is at 2 cents. All-time high was, of course, 28 cents back in 2021. great year for Vechain. So it's actually dropped 14x since the all-time high. Now, is Vechain a good project you should invest in? Of course, like I said, can't give you financial advice. I do believe this is gonna be the top supply chain tracking platform out there. Same thing I said in the last bull run. I think it's got massive potential. Now, if you remember watching our portfolio videos where we showed our entire portfolio, you guys know we cut Vechain out towards the very end of the bull run. We were trying to get to where we had less than 20 coins in our entire portfolio. And Vechain just quite didn't make the cut. Why? Well, as you guys know in our rubric, philosophy is one of those things that we do look at. And for me personally, looking at the fact that this project and China are very much embedded with each other, it was a way for me to kind of separate things and cut out of Vechain. But that doesn't mean that I don't believe it's got a lot of great potential. I just thought at the time there were 20 other coins that had a higher potential. But I've told you guys the entire time, I do think that while we cut it out of our portfolio, I do think it is still gonna have a good run in the next bull run. Like I said, it'd be the top supply chain tracking platform. So I haven't given up on Vechain yet, and I don't think you should either. So down below in the comments, let me know what you think about Vechain and tell us what are the projects you want us to look into. All right, that's all I got. Be blessed. Good boy out.